Because God said, you better not come back full. Like I told y'all, my mentor in spirit said, you loaded. You know how many people in the graveyard? He said that. You know how many people in the graveyard? They left here still loaded. Still full of gifts. Still full of books. Still full of YouTube channels. Still full of podcasts. Still full of businesses, LLCs, non-profit organizations, all type of stuff. They were full, and they left here without fulfilling the assignment that the Lord sent them here to fulfill. So I put a fire under each one of y'all today. I put a fire up under you. I want you to hear this message, and I want it to move you. I want it to stir you in your, you know what? I pray right now that this message, when y'all hear it, will not fall on deaf ears, but it's going to move you. It's going to stir your spirit. It's going to cause you to get up and take off running for God, baby, just like Jonah did. Just like Jonah did, baby, when the fish spit him up, and the Bible say he hit the ground running. I speak that, glory be to God. I speak that divine fire over each and every one of y'all right now, that when you hear this message today, you're going to hit the ground running. You might not even know what your gift is. Listen, don't even concern yourself with saying, oh, you know, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what my gifts are. Listen to what I'm saying to you, baby. Your spiritual work is all about you taking off the identity that they put on you. When I say they, I mean the world. I mean the enemy, okay? Take off the identity that the world put on you, and then you ain't gotta try to be somebody, or you ain't gotta try to find out this or find this gift or find your purpose. You just gotta take the covering off. Take the mask off that the enemy has put on you. He's blinded you to your awesomeness. He's blinded you to how powerful you are. He's blinded you to how special, how rare, how unique, how you are fearfully and wonderfully made. The enemy has blinded you to that. See, God revealed to me that he ain't got to send nothing down here to us. We already possess everything. I feel the power of God. We already possess everything that we would need to possess our promised land. We already possess everything we would need, baby, to walk into our destiny, walk into our divine destiny, and be who the Lord has called us to be. It's already in us. God said it was in us in at the moment of conception. It was there before conception. Before I formed you in your mother's belly, what did he say? I knew you, and I ordained you. I sanctified you to be a prophet unto the nations. The Lord say, listen, you already got it. It's already in you. Y'all put that in the comments, baby. Say, I got it. I already got it. Put that in the comments, baby. Touch and agree with me. Affirm that in the face of the devil today. Let the devil know I already got it. I'm carrying it around with me right now. The only thing I got to do is take this blindfold off my eyes that the enemy has put on me. The only thing I got to do is reprogram my mind, get rid of these old belief systems, clean the cobwebs out of my mind so that I can see who God says I am. Romans 12:2 says, be not conformed to this world. That's my favorite scripture. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You see what God is saying to you, baby? God is saying you ain't got to try to figure it out. Ooh, I feel the power of God. He said you ain't got to try to, oh, what's my purpose? What's my gift? He said all you got to do is reprogram your mind. God said shift your paradigm. He said come out of thinking one way, come out of your mindset being one way. And God said it's time to shift into a new way of thinking. It's time to elevate your thoughts. And God said, when you do that, he said, you're going to see. He said, at that point, your eyes are going to be open to what my will is for you. That's the way it worked for me, y'all. I just got lost with shifting my mindset. I got away from those old environments, those old negative, toxic people, and just everything that was negatively influencing my life. I isolated myself from all of that, and I got with God one-on-one. And God shifted. He began to renew my mind. Like the scriptures say, I stopped doing everything that everybody else was doing. I stopped doing, what the masses were doing. See, if you want something different, you got to be willing to do what the others won't do. You got to be willing to go where the others won't go. I started investing in myself. I started getting courses. I started attending seminars. I started going to conferences, workshops, whatever I needed to go to. Are you willing to do that? If you want something that ain't nobody never had in your family, you got to be willing to do what they would never do. It's going to require you to come out of your comfort zone. Step out of the known for the unknown. and be willing to be vulnerable with God. Like I said, be willing to empty yourself, because God is telling y'all today, you better not come back to me full. You better not come back to me with all them gifts. Because if you do, you are a thief and you a robber. Why? Because you took something that does not belong to you. You kept something. You held on to something that does not belong to you. The gift is not yours. You are just the carrier of it. Do you understand me? You are the carrier of the gift. And God said you will think because it's in you're the vessel that's carrying it, that it belongs to you. And you're going to tell God when you're going to move with it. And you're going to tell God how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. And God is telling you, he said you just the carrier of it, baby. Your job is to deliver. You just like the mailman down here, baby. God said your job is to deliver the package. Don't worry about how they going to receive it. Come on now. Don't worry about how they going to feel about it. God said just deliver the package. He said, long as you do what I told you to do, forget them folks. God said, I got your bite. Deliver the package. Empty yourself out before God. Let me tell y'all, I told God in this season, baby, every gift he gave me, I'm finna start digging all of them out. I ain't finna leave up. I ain't finna check up out of him with nothing still in me. I'm gonna give y'all everything the Father put in me. I'm finna dump it out, whether y'all want it, whether they don't want it, whether they want to hear it, whether they don't want to hear it. He said, preach my word, preach it in season, preach it out of season, preach it when they want to hear it, preach it when they don't want to hear it. God said, you better empty yourself. Whatever it is that the Father has ordained y'all to do, do it. And if you don't know what it is, then just get in isolation with God. Get in isolation with him. Start the process, Start the process of reprogramming your mind. Start that process. Start getting away from everything that was negatively influencing y'all. Y'all get my beast mode course. I tell y'all exactly what the process that God took me through when he reprogrammed my mind. Because it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. You didn't get the way you are overnight, and you're not going to change overnight. But God says stick with it. Trust the process. And as you begin to shift your mindset, as the scripture says, as you begin to renew your mind, then you're going to be able to prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. When you begin to renew your mind, that's when it's going to begin. You're going to begin to see, oh, this is what I'm called to do. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Oh, this is my purpose. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I came here for. Because that's when my eyes were open. But as long as I allowed the enemy to blindfold me, and have this blindfold over me, I couldn't see my worth. I couldn't see who I was. Stuff happening to me. People treat me all kind of way. I didn't understand that it's because of the enemy. He sees my destiny. He sees who I am. Don't y'all never let the devil know more about you than you know about your own self. This is the time. This is the season where you got to wake up to your worth, baby. God said you've been sleeping on yourself long enough. You got power. You got some power. Affirm that today. Say, I got some power, baby. You got power. Greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. God said, listen, you're going to do more than what Jesus did. Greater works will you do. Why? Because I go to the Father. That's what Jesus is telling y'all. Don't marvel at what I'm doing. Stop sitting around having Bible studies and having prayer meetings and having church services and stuff, just talking about what Jesus did. We ought to be walking out them same miracles down here. It's all right to talk about it, but are we living it? We ought to be performing them same miracles. And if we not, then we got to get about our Father's business. Because Jesus told us, greater works will you do. We supposed to be doing more than what Jesus did. But we still sitting around talking about what Jesus did, when we ought to be down here walking that thing out on earth as it is in heaven. But we got to be willing to get to that place with God where nobody else is willing to get there. Nobody else is willing to empty themselves. Nobody else is willing to be vulnerable with God. Nobody else is willing to go all the way with God. God is looking for one person. He's looking for one person that's willing to stand up for him today, that's willing to stand up for righteousness today. In this wicked generation, God said, can I just find one person? I feel like God, when he was looking and he saw that Noah was a righteous man, and God saved Noah's whole family. Why? Because God found favor in Noah. Noah was a righteous man. God said, can I just find one? Can I just see one person that's gonna take my word and activate beast mode? You know what, this message right here, it gonna reach thousands of people. But you know what? If it ain't but one person that hear this word and take action today, it is well with my soul, baby. It is well with my soul. I have done what the Father sent me to do. If it ain't but one person. Because a lot of folks gonna hear it and they're gonna go in one ear and out the other. They're gonna be looking at everything else instead of paying attention to the word. See, God said you got to get the word because it's the word that's going to transform you, baby. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I am Latoya Okeia. Like I said, my prayer for you today is that you will take this word and it will light a fire. It will ignite a fire on the inside of you that's going to burn for generations. And your children, your children's children, your children's children's children are going to feel that same flame. They're going to still be feeling the heat from that fire that you started today. And they're going to carry on your legacy. They're going to carry it on. I love y'all so much. Empty yourself out, baby. Give us everything. We waiting on what you got. We waiting on what you got, but you got to get in position, right? You got to reprogram your mind. You got to shift your old belief system. You got to get in position so that God can use you, so that you can be a vessel for the kingdom. Because he don't just use anything, anybody. We got to be in position for it, okay? I love y'all so much. This was just a real talk with the Divine Ones Car Chronicles, okay? I am Latoya Okeia. I love y'all, and y'all have a blessed day.